NBA breaking news into SportsCenter. Shams Charania, our NBA insider, joining us now. Shams, you just put this out moments ago. What do you have?
Tom Thibodeau has been relieved of his duties as head coach of the New York Knicks. Sources tell me after 5 seasons as head coach of the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau is out. He led them to 4 playoff appearances in 5 years as head coach. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sports 2L. My name is Nolan. We cover the NBA, and we have some exciting news from the NBA, the best league in the world, always filled with drama. But this one, I've got to admit, really shocked me. If you haven't heard yet, the New York Knicks, coming off their best season in 25 years, 2 wins away from making it to the NBA Finals. They made the Eastern Conference Finals and just lost to the Pacers. But even with all that success, they have fired their head coach, Tom Thibodeau, immediately after their season ends. I mean, it just ended this weekend, and now we got the news, Tom Thibodeau out as the head coach of the Knicks. This is interesting to me because obviously the most success they've had in a while, so it makes you think, why would they do something like this? And I guess the first place to start is the way the league is going. It seems like bench players and depth of a team is really important, and that is not what Tom Thibodeau does at all. That is the opposite of the way he coaches. He's got 5 or 6 guys that he really likes, and those guys are going to get a lot of those minutes. And he kind of believes in the mentality that play your best guys and play them as often as possible, and that's how you win games, and that's how you're the best team at the end of the season. And I don't know, when you look at Oklahoma City and the Pacers, who are in the finals, the depth, the bench, it makes it really hard because now NBA games are track meets up and down constantly. They're long games, a lot longer than college. The spacing is a lot different than college. You can't just have 5 or 6 guys that you constantly play. It came back to bite Thibs a little bit. Maybe that's part of the reason, he got fired. I also think as an NBA coach, you really can't ever admit that you made a mistake. And he definitely admitted that he made a mistake with his rotations throughout the whole season, because in the last games against the Pacers, he was playing Landry Shamet and DeLon Wright as his guys off the bench, and they did not play much during the season. They were not in the rotation. So I guess what management took from that is that our coach really didn't have a plan for what he was doing. Throughout the regular season, you get 82 games to try and figure out who is the best, who fits together the best, what kind of roster should we have, what kind of rotation should we have, who should be playing, who should be backing people up. And I guess they just felt they did not have confidence that Thibodeau was going to make the right decision. And he kind of admitted this during the Pacers series by playing Shamet and by playing Wright so much, even though he didn't give him much of an opportunity throughout the regular season. So now other people, playing devil's advocate, would argue, well, it's just a matchup against the Pacers. It doesn't necessarily mean that would have been his rotation no matter what. But it did kind of signal to everyone that he may have messed some things up. And especially with the way the regular season is played now, 82 games, you knew the Knicks were going to make the playoffs. You kind of, not to say experiment, because you want to win a bunch of games, otherwise the head coach will lose your job, but you got to play guys more minutes. You got to see who fits well together, what lineups you can trust in the playoffs. And Thibodeau has never been known as a coach that's ever going to do this. So that's really all I can think of for why they would fire him. I mean, maybe there's something behind the scenes with some of the players not liking him or thinking they're playing too much or feeling like they're at a disadvantage because he's not known as an offensive mind who's going to constantly sub guys in and out and, help them out. So I don't know exactly what it is. I would not have done it. I mean, like I said, they just had their best season. Defense seems to be important in the NBA again, and Thibodeau can definitely coach up a defense. He's got great rotations. Maybe this is what fell apart for him, is that Indiana scored so much on a Knicks team that was supposed to be a good defensive team, but a lot of this you might be able to relate to or contribute to they're just tired. I mean, the Knicks guys played so much more than the Pacers guys, and getting worn out definitely has an impact. I mean, I think the Knicks will be back, but the next question is, who will be their head coach? This is another reason why I don't really like this move, is like, who are you going to go hire? Because if you go get Michael Malone, who used to be the Nuggets coach, it's like, isn't that just kind of like getting Thibodeau? I mean, I know he's got a championship, but a fiery guy who's going to want defense and passion and not really known as an offensive guru, who's not really going to go that deep into his bench either. Like, that was why he was out at Denver, is he didn't really want to play the young guys and give his bench a lot of a chance. Like, he needs proven guys, kind of similar to Thibs, so I could not see them hiring him. I mean, it's going to be the same money for both those guys, when you think. Maybe Malone's even more expensive. So I don't see that. Budenholzer is the other name. Why would you fire Thibs to get Budenholzer? That doesn't make much sense. I mean, I guess he's better offensively, but he didn't really prove anything this last year. Like, I don't know. That doesn't make too much sense to me. So the only thing that makes sense is they're going after a young, splashy offensive name that we don't know about yet. The other thing I saw from ESPN was Jay Wright. Get the whole Villanova gang back together. If you don't know, Jay Wright was the former Villanova coach. The Knicks have Brunson, Hart. Who else was on that team? Bridges. I mean, they have so many Villanova guys, former Villanova guys, that they might just go out and get the former head coach, Jay Wright, used to be at Villanova, now I think works for ESPN or one of the sports networks. He's out there. He's never really coached in the NBA. Is that really the hire you're going to make that you think will get you to the finals? I don't know. I would love to see it. I think Jay Wright's a good coach. Could he coach in the NBA? Sure, I think absolutely. Would he fit on the team? Yeah, absolutely. But it would be interesting to have a rookie coach, because then I think Brunson and Hart would basically be the leaders of the team, not really the coach. Like, if you get a rookie coach and a guy that they worked with in college, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So this one is just baffling to me, but leave it to the NBA. They're always firing coaches. You can't really change a lot of the team because the guys are making so much money. So it's like, we're not going to change the roster, but we think we should change something. So by default, we'll change the coach. I don't think it's going to have much of an impact. Will the Knicks be better next year? Maybe, but I mean, it's only because Boston's expected to take a step back, and people, it is what it is. They're in the finals. Don't really fear Indiana. I mean, they'd be favored over the Knicks right now. The Pacers would be. Obviously, they just beat them in a series, but I'm talking about going into next year. So it's tough to say what exactly the mission is here for the Knicks, if it will work out. I guess it all depends on who they get. But like I said in my previous video, I don't know that NBA coaching is having that dramatic of an impact. And if you look at the names out there, it doesn't really make sense for me to get rid of Thibs right now, right after the best season they've had in 25 years, on the doorstep of making it to the NBA Finals, get rid of the coach right away. So sad to see Thibs go as the Knicks coach. Where will he end up? Who will be the next coach of the New York Knicks? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.